Hey there, everybody. Well, it has been a while since I did one of these, and it's because of the holidays. I think I looked back, and the last video I posted on the channel here was in the end of October, and I've always said that I wouldn't post anything unless I had something to say. And I don't know, I figure after 2 months I probably should have something to say, even if I don't have a lot to say. So let's start there. Where are things standing? Well, first of all, Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully 2025 is kind to us all, and in any way that it can be for you. So far I'm getting a lot of snow, which I'm not super thrilled about because I have kind of a terrible driveway and a tricky commute because of the hours I go. The snowplow trucks aren't out, but I've got my snow tires on, and those, I may do a video on that process at some point, not putting the tires on, but I did try a dip product for these wheels. It's called a Hyper Dip. You can probably Google that and find it. And I didn't want to do a video without really knowing much about this product, so I put them on, and they started the winter as a fresh application. I've already had to touch them up because when I stored them after I dipped them, before I put them on, I damaged my own finish. So I'm going to see how they do with the winter weather and how especially the area that I repaired, and then do a video after that. I didn't do video of when I did the process, but it's really not that difficult, and I took a number of pictures, so we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But one thing I've noticed that's interesting, and don't tell anybody, but I am running wheels right now. They're Tesla OEM wheels that I got from a friend with the snow tires on them, which is handy. I normally buy the all-weather tires, but this year for winter I'm using actual snow tires, which is nice. They're Pirelli Soda Zeros. I don't really have any feedback on how good they are just yet, because I haven't had to do a lot of really bad weather driving because of the way our schedules aligned. I was able to take either the Subaru or the Mazda, which are both all-wheel drive cars, also on good tires, all-weather tires, so they were my choice for the days that we legitimately had bad weather, rather than take this out. This car is almost irreplaceable at this point because of, the lifetime connectivity and supercharging, and you can't get the sunroof anymore, and you can't get a car this size in rear-wheel drive anymore from Tesla, and so there's no point in. And it's also the residual value of it is gotten so low now that if anything were to happen to it, even the slightest fender bender, it would probably be totaled out. And so when the weather's at all dicey, this car stays home so that nothing happens to it. At least if I have another car available, that's what happens. So we'll get into the wheels, and at the end of winter, I might have more thoughts on the tires. Other updates to the car. I am still pondering my suspension refresh on it, and I found a shop locally that's willing to do the bolt cutting method and reversing on the front aft arm, lower aft arm, and which is by the battery pack, and the rear. It's not the toe link; it's the rear, the camber arm, I guess. That has the same problem where the bolt may or may not come out without being cut. There seems to be some discussions as to, like, that part of the subframe on the rear wheel well was redesigned multiple times. There's all kinds of iterations on it. Sometimes the bolts, and maybe it's the bolts too, have been changed in length. So sometimes they'll come out without having to do anything. Other times they're captive bolts, and then that you have to cut out. And then there's a few folks that have, well, if you loosen the subframe, it gives you just a little bit. It gives you just enough flexing ability to drop that bolt with that. I don't know. I have gotten to the age now, I guess, where I've seen a thing or two doing car repairs in my garage, and you're one rounded bolt away from a massive headache and stress and trauma and all those things. Add in that the garage is cold in the wintertime, and that you have to do an alignment after this kind of suspension work anyway, so you still can't use the car even if you get it all back together successfully. You still have to take it somewhere, and you have to coordinate that, but you can't coordinate that if you don't know how long the repair will take. And then I have a state inspection, and that's up in May, but you can do it a couple months. So anyway, my window right now opens March 1st to do the inspection, and that gives me time to kind of get the parts together, hopefully. And then I'll just, right now my plan is to take it to this shop and just, you know, keep the car for a day or however long it takes, replace all the suspension pieces that are now at 133,000 miles. These are all original suspension pieces at this point. And sorry, somebody back there being really erratic. And redo all the suspension parts that are basically OEM from the factory at this point. And that, if I might do my math right, at the end of that work, the only thing that would be original on the suspension will be the struts themselves, which I don't believe to be leaking or anything at the moment, or anything that really necessitates their replacement. I don't know if I should go by the miles or not. The ride, I think the issues I have with the ride getting a little bit wobbly here and there is because of the bushings. So the only things that would be original then would be that's it, the struts. Because my front upper control arms were replaced under warranty at, I don't know, 40,000 miles or so. So they do have close to 100,000 on them, but they seem fine to me. And the rear lower control arms were the ones that broke, or at least the one broke. I replaced them both. That was a couple years ago, and they should be fine. And I did the other links. There's videos of those on the channel if you need to do that. So I'm just going to have them do it, I think. They can just do it, make that problem go away, and whatever. I have successfully sold off the Arachnid wheels that I had mentioned on the channel a few times, and I really do like the way they look, but 21-inch wheels in my driving conditions just doesn't really make sense. And then I got these other wheels from my friend with the snow tires, and I do not need 4 sets of wheels for one car. So those are gone, those were sold, and they went to somebody in Ohio who seemed very happy to get them. I think that the rear brakes may be coming up on needing to be done. I don't know that that's going to be a problem for this inspection, but they are all factory original parts back there, including the pads. So it's probably going to be time pretty soon. I can do those myself. I'm not worried about that, but I'd rather not do it in the cold garage. So we'll see. I'll probably run it through the inspection, see what happens. So what else is going on with the channel? I'm probably going to be I did throw a video on in December, I think it was, that was a hive check with the bees. I will continue to throw some bee videos on now and then, simply because it's easier to manage one YouTube channel. And I'll probably throw some Lego stuff on here, because I do like messing with that now that I'm most of the time in empty nest. It gives me a bit of good memories, keeps me distracted as a hobby. So I will probably do little videos on that too. So you'll be seeing those coming up. What else will we talk about? I will do another video. I may even do it this afternoon on Pittsburgh's most ridiculous mayor, because today is the 175th anniversary of the election of Mayor Joseph Barker. And if you Google that, you'll find out why he's my favorite mayor. But if you want to watch the other video, I'll explain it better. And it's just a great story. So that'll be coming up probably. IMSA is going to be great this year. If you are a road racing fan of any kind and you are not following IMSA, or the World Endurance Championship, it's the Le Mans cars, but it's the US version of that basically, you are missing out. It is a fantastic series. We've been going to Watkins Glen, me and my son, the last several years to see them in person. And this year it seems like it's all really coming together with a lot of big money, big name competition, factory teams. It's going to be fantastic. So that starts out with the 24 Hours of Daytona, which is coming later this month. And I highly recommend that you seek that out. And be looking for that. It is a fantastic series. The competition is fantastic. The cars are amazing, and that's really a highlight. It's gonna be a great year for that. Also mention we saw the movie Wicked the other day, and it was fantastic as well. Highly recommended. I had to get over. I don't want to give any spoilers, so don't worry. I had to get over that I was in a movie theater watching a musical, because that seems something very, very old-fashioned nowadays. Once I got over that, and then the first scene was sort of a little odd. But once I got into the mindset that I was watching a play, and I don't remember the name of the star, but it's what's her name? Elphaba, the Wicked Witch in the movie, with the green skin. Actress was actor. I guess they're all actors now. Fantastic. She came on the screen and it's just captivating, and I was all in, immersed at that point. And I do want to say that an interesting thing about the movie, I never saw the play, but the movie is long. But even as an editor, there's not a lot of meat on the bone. If you wanted to cut stuff, like it's all essential, and where they do let moments breathe, I think that they're even longer than they probably would be in a stage production, because the cameras can get more intimately close to facial expressions. And I really appreciate that they let those moments breathe. And you'll also notice that it has the pacing of a play. It sort of has acts. There's no intermission, so you don't drink a whole lot before you go into the theater for that, unless you're watching at home. But it has movements to it that way, much like a play does. And it's really fantastic to see that on the screen. It's very different than other movies I've seen recently, and I really, really loved it. I thought it surprised me. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. It was really fantastic. I think that's probably all for this. There's this Model Y news sort of lingering out there, and questions about the S and the X as always, but we can talk about that another time. I just wanted to give something on the channel, show you I'm still alive out here. Okay. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.